Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Build Time. Today we've got Stefan. He's our development experience engineer at Cosmic. He's going to show us a preview of how to do webhook builds with Astro and Cosmic. So hey Stefan, how you doing?
Hey, Tony, I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing great. All right, excited to jump into this one. We really just had like maybe 5 minutes of prep to go over like how to do this. Hopefully we'll save some of the reactions. Stefan, I guess, has not done the build between Cosmic and Vercel, but it's super easy to do. And so let's try to recreate some of that excitement here with this go in the recorded version. So basically, just to kind of prep everyone, so this is the Astra blog that Stefan built, that's powered by Cosmic. If you are interested, you can download the code base, you can run it on your local machine, or you can deploy it to Vercel in really just one click. We've got an article that goes over how this is built, but for this episode, we're just going to cover how to do webhook integration and building it with these kind of automated content updates. So, Stefan, do you want to go ahead and show us how this is done?
Oh, absolutely. All right, everybody. So yeah, we should get a good reaction here. Tony just walked me through this a bit, and I'm about 48 ounces of coffee deep, so I have no doubt that that combined with my short-term memory loss will trigger the same thing. So yeah, basically this is the modern or simple Astro blog that we were talking about last week. And of course, we'll have links to this in the GitHub repo. You can get started with this as a Cosmic project and you just get going with it. But essentially, there's a common use case where we want to create a new post in Cosmic and then we want to rebuild our project. And what I've noticed is that Astro builds super quick. This is awesome. So essentially,
One second though,
yeah,
but before
sure.
we kind of talk about how this is done, let's
Oh
talk about
yeah,
like why this is important, because so this is a static website, right? So
yeah,
if maybe some viewers are familiar with Jamstack, they understand that like this is all static, and when you make updates in a CMS, it's not going to populate the content right away because it's already been built, right? So that's kind of the challenge here, is that we have sort of dynamic content that we're adding into Cosmic, but we have a static site. So how do we translate that dynamic content into the static site? And the answer here is what? Build hook,
yeah, no, yeah,
right?
absolutely, yep,
So triggering
absolutely,
a build hook using a
yeah,
Cosmic webhook. Yeah.
yeah, because we'll have to go in and just get all those objects back, and after we've updated it. So yeah, exactly. I mean, Tony put it perfectly. So yeah, let's without further ado, let's go in. You want to go in?
Let's do
Let's
it.
do
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So with Vercel, I mean, it's I mean, I don't want to have the same. I mean, it's ridiculously easy. I mean, it's watch 2 clicks. We go to Git and then deploy hooks, and we can do rebuild object
So this is basically
creation.
just naming what this hook will be, and it'll
Yeah.
connect to a certain branch, right? So
Yep.
it'll
Yeah, that's literally a rebuild on object creation. So every time, well, we can be a little bit more specific on post creation.
mhm.
Create hook. Vercel is going to give us this URL, a deploy URL, or sorry, a hook URL. And then we can just go in, we can go into our Cosmic dashboard and go to settings, go down here to webhooks, take that URL, pop it in the endpoints, and let's see, let's do created and published. And down
And really quick,
here,
I'll just kind of explain
yeah,
what this all means here. So this is our
yeah,
old dashboard, right? So we're doing a complete refresh on the design and kind of the functionality of webhooks. But the idea is generally the same in the old dashboard. You just want to set up the events that will trigger the webhook. And there's just a little bit of information there as far as like what the method will be, right? It's going to be a post method, and then the endpoint that will receive that request will be that Vercel endpoint that we just created, that build hook. And then the data payload, if you need to kind of pull that data from that specific post that was created and published, you could enable some of the props that'll come through. So let's say you wanted to know what the title or content or maybe some of the metadata is, on that specific post, you can include that here. But for Vercel, all I need to have as far as like to trigger the rebuild will just be the specific request. So they really don't need any other data. So we can just disable the payload here.
Sweet. Cool.
And that should be
This
good.
is it. Just save it.
Yep.
It's that simple. Okay, so now. Okay, let's do it.
So hold on, before
Yeah,
we move on from this,
yeah.
what you said
Sure.
before was, is it this easy? Is it really?
Yeah, I know. I couldn't believe it.
That's
Yeah,
all it is, right? To
I
connect for
know.
Cell and Cosmic, like it's already
Yeah.
configured. That's it. Just
No, because
settings, get area, and then in the Cosmic webhook area.
yeah. And before we went into this, I was just telling Tony, I was like, yeah, honestly, I haven't done much with webhooks, and I thought there would be like this process, and I mean, maybe defining some of the parameters we're looking for. And he goes in, and we're like, okay, do this, create this, and I'm like, is it that easy? And then we created and then Cosmic ends, so it's kind of ridiculous, but it's that easy. Put in the endpoint, and now we're creating our new post, so we can go in, pick an image, make it our thumbnail because I'm OCD like that. Tag webhooks or webhooks. Okay.
All right.
And so then we just hit publish and it'll redeploy.
That's correct.
Okay, okay. Let's do it. And let's go over here, deployments.
So that should show.
There it is. There it is. Just now via deploy hook. That's ridiculous.
And because Astro is pretty fast, that shouldn't take too long to rebuild.
Yeah. You can see all these oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Wow.
Well done.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's ridiculous. I don't know. I'm one to get all giddy over simple things like that, but I
So
think
let's try another one here. Let's
yeah,
let's go
sure.
ahead and go to that post. Let's say, oh, you know what? We want to delete this. Go ahead and delete it.
Okay. Do we
But
need to
hang
make a
on,
new
but
webhook
now
first?
now you see, oh, there you go. So now we need to
Yeah.
create another webhook for
You
deleting.
tried to
Let's
get me
go.
there. I see you
Almost
tried to
got
get me
you.
there. Almost got. Almost got. Okay. So now we do it here. We make a new one in Vercel first, yeah?
You don't have to. Actually, you can
Oh.
reuse the same one. Yeah.
Oh,
and
seriously.
it'll build it and it'll, yeah.
Oh,
same
and then
thing.
so you're saying then in Cosmic we just change that parameter.
You just create a new event, right?
Object.
And in the new dashboard, just so we know, like,
Sure.
it'll be a little bit more easy to configure than this. Obviously, like you can have a lot of events here, but for our new dashboard, it's going to be just one endpoint. Well, you can like check a box for like multiple events, right? So
Yeah.
definitely a better webhook creation experience. But you know, but this works for now, right? So
is it still just this easy?
it's still just this easy. It's even easier.
Even easier. Stop. There's no way. Okay, save. Yep, we're good.
And then yeah,
Object
also
deletion.
you'll be able to set it up to for specific object types too that will trigger the build. So
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's kind of
That's cool.
definitely.
Are you going to be able to do
nice
specific
update.
metadata, or will you be able to do specific metadata? Oh wait, no. Well, that would just be like maybe object edited or something. You could do something like that.
Right, on edit, yeah.
All right.
So now if you want to delete this.
Oh, yeah, let's just get rid of you. We don't want you. I'm sorry, but you're gone. Okay. Deployments. There it is.
We go. That's rebuilding.
Sweet. You see, I don't know why I always thought this was more complicated than it really would be this simple, but like I always thought with Next.js or something, I know we're using Astro, but you'd have to do something with like an API route. I didn't realize it was this simple. Yep.
Yeah, it's really simple, and you know, I think that's one of the benefits of using something like Astro or you know a static site generator, is that you have that like just insane optimizations, right? The Lighthouse score on this page is like
ridiculous.
Perfect. It's 100s, right? 100 across the board. But then there's the trade-off of like you don't have the ability to kind of pull through dynamic content, right? So that's sort of the trade-off with Astro. However, if you kind of create the connection of like you know the build hook and the Cosmic webhook on the content updates, you kind of get the best of both worlds, right? And then even further, I think Next.js has incremental static regeneration, which is, quite nice in the fact that it can be an even more focused rebuild, right? So it's not necessarily rebuilding the entire website. Let's say you have like, thousands of blog posts. That build
Yeah.
probably take, upwards of like a
Yeah.
few minutes or so.
Yeah.
But with, something like Next.js and their ISR, incremental static regeneration, I think they've kind of pushed the limits a bit on that kind of, optimization, as well as kind of, dynamic content updates, which I think maybe at some point we'll have to try that out as well and show that.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, like, what is this applicable to something like e-commerce? Like, what if you have hundreds, if not thousands of products? Like, you wouldn't probably want to do this here, but Next.js, you could use the ISR to just what is it? You do the fallback, and then when someone hits that endpoint of a new product, then it'll load for them, like a cold start kind of. But this wouldn't really be super optimized for e-commerce, would it? Because you wouldn't want to have to rebuild your whole site.
Right. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good point. So I think that, maybe that's kind of where we're at currently, is sort of the limitations are on the quantity of content that you have on your site. Like if it's very low quantity content, then probably, static works great. But if you've got like, thousands of pages, that might be a bit of a difficult choice to make as far as your technology. Maybe you do want to go like more dynamic. Maybe you do want to do server-side rendering. But yeah, I think that's all kind of a matter of preference and maybe considering those technical limitations. But yeah, that's a great question. And I think that, another thing that you can consider is like profile pages. Let's say you have like, user generated content, where you have like user profile pages. That's something to where, a static site seems to be not the right choice. But maybe you could make it work with like, cache clearing and all that stuff. But yeah, this is I think a good kind of intro for our customers to kind of check this out, see what it's like to build with Astro. It's definitely very popular right now when it comes to like static site and kind of getting all the benefits of a great developer experience, optimizations. For our listeners and viewers, Stefan just put together a fantastic article about this specific template that you can install and you can deploy. But also you can read about like how it's built and how to integrate Cosmic into this this Astro application. And so all of the links and everything will be in the show notes. But yeah, I think it's a matter of considering what the possible limitations could be with like the amount of content that you have.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think with the article, we just wanted to run through how simple and straightforward actually with Astro was to integrate Cosmic. So, anyone out there listening, you need a solution for your content and, a good front end to go with. Depending on your use case, this could be a very viable option. And now I'm kind of thinking maybe we, now with this these webhooks, you can take care of the rebuild so easily as well. So yeah, guys,
Yeah.
anything else, Tony?
I think that's good.
Cool.
This can be a short one. I think it's a good primer for folks
Cool.
to just sort of get started with webhooks, connected to Astro, and just feel the excitement that you have as a new webhook user.
Yeah. Yeah,
Connecting
no.
Cosmic webhooks to Vercel is super easy. So not just
Yeah.
for Astro, but for any other sort of static site generator that you want to use. So yeah, I think that should do it for now. So yeah, thank you for
Absolutely.
this tour, Stefan. I know it was a bit
Yeah.
improvised, ad hoc, but
Yeah.
nailed it.
That was pretty. Thanks, Tony. Yeah, thanks for walking me through.
All right, guys, thank you. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.